Minister Senzo Mchunu in the hot seat. It's a Thursday and a firestorm is brewing in the corridors of power. In today's video, we'll dive into why the country's police minister is being trolled for his alleged shady dealings with the criminal underworld.
Molini, and welcome to yet another episode of Conversations with Lankosi. Now, this is the news commentary section where we will be offering insightful commentary and exploring various perspectives on the stories that shape our world.
It all started with a bold public revelation by the people's favorite provincial police commissioner, Lieutenant General Mchunu, during a press conference where he, pointed towards the Minister of Police, Senzo Mchunu, and his deputy for dismantling a key task team investigating political assassinations, all while allegedly colluding with criminal syndicates. Mchunu also shared that he had evidence being WhatsApp messages, voice recordings, financial trails, which all link Mchunu and his circle to underworld figures such as Kat Matlala and A. Brown Mokgotsi. Do note that if true, these are not just ethical lapses, guys, but they're also constitutional violations with national security implications. Something Cupcake and his cabinet shouldn't take lightly. With that being said, let us get into this article. Allegations of collusion between Police Minister Senzo Mchunu and the criminal underworld are to be urgently considered by 3 committees as assigned by National Assembly Speaker Togo Didiza. The Portfolio Committee on Police, the Portfolio Committee on Justice and Constitutional Development, and the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence have been instructed to investigate these claims. This comes after political and civil organizations intensified calls on Wednesday for a commission of inquiry to be instituted, while others call for Parliament to act. Lieutenant General Mchunu, the KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Police Commissioner, has accused Minister Mchunu of obstructing police operations and shielding tenderpreneur Vusumuzi Katmatlala. Mchunu further alleged that Mchunu interfered with police work by unilaterally disbanding a task team investigating political killings, bypassing consultation with both national and provincial commissioners. Didiza has requested that the committees investigate the various allegations made by Mchunu concerning national security and subsequently report their findings to the National Assembly. However, Didiza declined requests from the DA and other parties for a debate on the matter, stating it would be inappropriate given that the allegations are currently unsubstantiated. The allegations had sparked widespread calls for an investigation, with various political parties and organizations demanding action from the government, with the latest call for action coming from the African Transformation Movement's parliamentary leader Vuyo Zungula. Zungula lodged a complaint with the Public Protector against Mchunu over the allegations. In a letter to the Public Protector's office, Zungula characterized the situation as a blatant instance of executive misconduct, political interference, and abuse of power. These revelations indicate nothing less than the direct capture of police power for private and political protection, Zungula stated. This is not merely a policy or operational concern. It is an ethical and legal emergency. If such interference is allowed to continue without consequences, public faith in the rule of law and the legitimacy of our democratic institutions will be destroyed. He asserted that the allegations are not speculative but are backed by digital communication records, WhatsApp messages, voice recordings, financial documentation, intercepted data, and operational reports. They form a factual matrix that points to a systematic effort by the minister to derail active investigations, protect criminal syndicates, and subvert the criminal justice system for political and private gain. Zungula noted that the task team had made progress before its collapse, since the minister's directive 121 dockets have been shelved and cases implicating politically connected individuals appeals have been obstructed. These actions not only undermine justice for victims but embolden criminal syndicates and signal that political connections offer protection from persecution. The DA has called for a joint parliamentary inquiry between the portfolio committees of police and justice to investigate the allegations, which was granted by Didiza, although she denied the request for a debate. We need to restore the integrity of the criminal justice system, said DA spokesperson Karabo Kaukau in a statement. It's vital that institutions are able to investigate and prosecute crime without fear, favor, or political interference. The Economic Freedom Fighters has also called for action, with its leader Julius Malema calling to South African citizens to rally behind Mchunu. We must never allow these criminals of the ANC to destroy Mchunu, Malema said. The Inkatha Freedom Party has called for President Cyril Ramaphosa to immediately appoint an independent commission of inquiry chaired by a retired judge to investigate the allegations. The war against crime will not be won, and South Africans will not be safe if the fish is rotten at the head as alleged, said IFP spokesperson Mkhuleko Hlengwa. The South African Human Rights Commission has also noted the allegations and called for a thorough investigation and an independent inquiry. The Commission views these allegations as a significant challenge for SAPS, which plays a vital role in maintaining public order, ensuring the safety of all citizens, and securing constitutional democracy, the SAHRC said. Bold One South Africa leader Mmusi Maimane has written to Ramaphosa, urging him to act immediately to address the allegations. General Mkhwanazi's decision to break protocol and speak out despite grave personal and professional risk is a courageous and urgent call to action, said Maimane. The Good Party had also called on the president to authorize a special investigating unit probe, saying there were no other state agencies with the credibility and integrity to probe allegations of political interference in the criminal justice system raised by Mkhwanazi. Now guys, the link to this article will be in the description box below. Let us get into what we got from this article. Now, Parliament has officially launched an investigation into South Africa's Police Minister Senzo Mchunu because some very serious allegations have been made against him, and they're coming from within the police service itself. Now guys, these accusations come from the people's favorite, Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, who says that the minister and his deputy disbanded a special police team that was investigating political killings. They interfered with criminal investigations and might even be connected to crime syndicates. With that being said, also from the same article, we can gather that the opposition is not holding back either. You have the DA and EFF who are calling for Mchunu's immediate suspension. You have the ATM who has escalated the matter to the public protector. You have the IFP that wants a full judicial commission led by a retired judge. You have Mmusi Maimane and Bosa that are running after the president to ensure that he actually does have a response for this, and so forth. The list is quite endless, but based on the article that we read, these are the parties that were mentioned, including Patricia de Lille's Good Party. You also have the IFP who wants a full judicial commission led by a retired judge. I just hope that that's also not a waste of money, like the Zondo Commission of Inquiry that went nowhere. We also have the South African Human Rights Commission, that warns that the integrity of the police service hangs in the balance. Now, Minister Mchunu may have denied all wrongdoing. He also came out to dismiss these accusations as baseless and politically motivated. But the cracks are now beginning to show, because this morning, Mchunu admitted to knowing the controversial Brown Mkhotsi despite previously denying any association to Parliament, which is a red flag. Cupcake, who is also currently attending the BRICS summit in Brazil, has also acknowledged the seriousness of the matter, labeling the allegations grave, and he promised swift action upon his return. Now guys, let us get into why this is a big deal. Because this isn't just political gossip. If a police minister is protecting criminals, or stopping investigations. This puts everyone at risk, and it completely breaks the trust people have in our justice system. Guys, we're talking about a man who's supposed to protect the nation, now being accused of protecting criminals instead. So Malaji's feelings aside, and all those who are coming for Mkhwanazi, because there is no justifying the art of ignorance where it isn't needed. Mchunu previously denied knowing certain people linked to the case. Now, all of a sudden, he admits he does know at least one of them. So we're starting to ask questions. We're starting to wonder, what else the minister is not being honest about. This moment calls for moral clarity. Either the system sanitizes itself from this mess, or it caves in completely. Now, what happens next? Will Mkhwanazi release the so-called evidence to Parliament or the public? Will Cupcake act decisively or drag his feet? Will the parliamentary committees conduct their probe transparently? And most importantly, will Minister Mchunu follow his own party's step-aside rule to allow for an impartial investigation? I mean, we're standing at the intersection of law and politics here. Let's not forget, election season is around the corner, hey? And what happens here sets a precedent for accountability, for transparency, and for justice. Saudi is a country that has survived so much betrayal, corruption, violence, and yet we keep hoping for better, for leadership we can trust, for safety that doesn't feel like a privilege, for a justice system that doesn't answer to the highest bidder. And if those entrusted to protect us are instead protecting crime, then who's protecting the people? This isn't just about politics, guys. It's about our lives. It's about truth. It's about the kind of country we want to live in and leave for our children. So I'll leave you with this. What happens to a nation when the ones who should uphold the law are accused of breaking it? And more importantly, what happens if nothing is done about it?
That marks the end of today's video. Thank you so much for lending your eyes and ears. I hope that you found today's video informative. Please do not forget to click on that subscription button or light the notification bell so that you do not miss out on any new uploads. Enkosini.